Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to the book show. It's a special episode. I want to speak about US exceptionalism. Now, actually, there is an entire episode where I mentioned this also on the code name Elise, which was book 41. It's a book which was called after my late wife Melissa. In fact, I have a copy of it here somewhere. Yes, yes, here it is. Code name Elise. Yeah, that is Melissa. She's smiling at Paul's way. Yeah, perhaps not the best of pictures, but it's the best I can do. And anyway, what happened here was that as I was writing the books, I realized there's something wrong with the US in terms of arrogance, which is really not natural. It's not even biblical. I mean, you're talking here about an arrogance which is way beyond normal. Now, they've always been what we call in Afrikaans grootbek. In other words, they've always been thinking too much for themselves and thinking they're the greatest ever and there's no one better and they are exceptional and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can think that, but don't try acting it out when you have such a pathetic record in war as well as in counterterrorism. It's so pathetic. I think that should the earth actually exist in over 100 years, people will study your failures and laugh at you. And we who sit on the outside, of course, we see things a bit differently, and this is a view which comes out in my books. And it is serious, it's very serious, because not only are you on the wrong track, you are also believing your own shite. And when you start believing your own shite, you really get into trouble because you really think you can just go to a country, attack it because you're exceptional. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're just going to arrive and you're going to kill whatever you want to kill, and then you're going to run back to home and nothing is going to happen to you. That's what you think. You think you are so fantastic. Now, when I say these things, I'm not doing it really to annoy you. Even if you get annoyed, I couldn't care less. But what I've seen of you in the shadows is really nothing which impressed me. I was not impressed. In fact, I was actually shocked at your low standards. And I was even more shocked to see how pathetically scared your intelligence officers are. You know, you should actually go out and recruit human beings and get hold of real information, which can become intelligence later. You should go and get assets or sources somewhere. And to do that, you really need man-to-man talks. You need to actually go out and meet with people. But what I've seen in sub-Saharan Africa is that you don't do that. You are mostly stuck to your embassies and there you stay because you're so frightened that you're pissing your pants the moment you have to leave. You know, it is pathetic. It's like there's no spycraft left. So you fall back on SIGINT in signal intelligence, which I'm telling you now, and it comes out in my books as well, is being manipulated for you to hear what you want to hear. And then because you throw money like crazy people around you, attracting the wrong people, and they are telling you what you want to hear, so you go on this course, and then you are completely infiltrated by radicals in your own organization, because why? You once had the best men. Yes, yes. When the CIA started back in 1948, they did do as they did with OSS. Before that, they went to the Ivy League universities. They would get the best young men and recruit them, and these guys really believed in their cause, anti-communist. Yes, they were effing up quite a bit as well. They weren't as good as the movies say, but they believed. They were genuine believers. They genuinely believed they were doing good. But then, and this is my theory, after 94, or after 1990, 91, when the Soviet Union came to an end, I think the best people left. And I think they started then opening the doors for lesser people. And as they opened the doors, these people would get their mates in. And this is the entire Western intelligence. It's not just the CIA, it is the entire Western intelligence. And then they started thinking, well, we are the greatest, we are the best, we are exceptional. You know what? It's a funny thing. It seems to me you're getting told this from the day you arrived, from the day you were born. But in fact, you're not. You're just a human being. You're just an arrogant piece of shit. So get real. Get real. If you look at your war records, if you look at yourself, your failures, you're really not the greatest there is. And so you have to look at yourself and then you have to say, okay, how can we improve? How can we go back to a time where we actually did very well? But probably you never will do that because times have moved on and you're now the second beast of the Bible, as described in the books of Daniel and Revelations. I'm not going to explain it to you again. If you want to know more, read Oath of Evil, the War on Protestantism, but it's a recurring thing which I discuss in many of the books. Right, so let's look at what happened here. Why in codename Elise was I going on? I even put an addendum in there about American exceptionalism. Now, it started with Mike Pompeo. You know, that fatty, well, I think he lost weight now, but quite fat guy at one stage. He was first a CIA director, and then he became a Secretary of State. In my eyes, worse than Hillary Clinton. Actually, the worst one ever. I'm not aware of anyone better. He's also a man who believes in the fake Jesuit Third Temple theory, which I'm not going to go into detail in once again, just to tell you it's bullshit from a biblical viewpoint. There is no such thing, but that perfectly describes the Trump administration and many of the US senior officials and the Zionists. They fully think that there's going to be 1,000 years reign there here on earth, even though the Bible says it's in heaven. It's not on earth. And then they think they have to recreate the third temple. Once they do that, Jesus will return. And then they will tell Jesus, well, you're not actually in command here, we are. You know, that's basically what it comes down to. It is just bullshit. If you trace the third temple theory back, you will see it is a Jesuit, the Society of Jesus, you know, the ones who was created by the Catholic Church to destroy the Reformation. They came out of this theory to destroy the Reformation. That's exactly why they were doing it. They also came out with futurism, so that people cannot identify the Pope as the Antichrist. If this shocks you and you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, please go and educate yourself. Go to a series called Total Onslaught by Professor Dr. Walter Weiff. There's others as well. Do some research or read Oath of Evil and then go back to the Bible. And when I say the Bible, I mean the King James Version, not the New International Version, not the American version, nothing else. Why? Because it's changed. I can give you dozens of pages of changes which was made in the Bibles through the years, which is not a good thing. It's really bad. But anyway, this Pompeo, somewhere in April of 28, he was the Senate for hearings to become the Secretary of State after he started off as CIA director. That's also where he said they came, they steal, they lie, they cheat, whatever. He came up with such a stupid statement. Really, they do all those things and it's expected, but you do not expect a CIA director to say such things. You expect him to have a common decency to flip and keep quiet about certain things, but you know, there you go, we're exceptional. So he came out and he made the following statement. This is Pompeo. And he said, this is a unique, exceptional country. Russia is unique, but not exceptional. I mean, look at the election meddling, right? Now, you guys will remember this was in the first Trump thing. This was just after 2016, where, you know, Hillary Clinton and those people started saying there was election meddling. So what happened about a week ago, 2 weeks ago? Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, released a whole bunch of files, which is now with the Department of Justice, where she actually proves that what do I hear? Election meddling, bullshit, as we said right from the beginning, never happened. Was totally partisan people, Brennan and those people who went out and they created this fake flippant document from which came the Mueller investigation, which also had to, despite being 99% Democrat orientated, Democrats, all of them had to agree that there was no Russian meddling. So he is talking shite to begin with. But anyway, he was taking his words. I mean, look at the election meddling. There were no election meddling, you idiot. But anyway, Then he goes on and he says the words democracy promotion and Vladimir Putin are unlikely to be used in the same sentence. Paragraph or document may be the same century. Okay, here we go again. Okay, Vladimir Putin, former colonel in the KGB. George Bush Sr., President 41, the one who talked about what do I hear? The New World Order at the United Nations. Yes, him. Was he director of the CIA? Yes. Yes, he was. Don't argue with me. Yes, he was for a short time. Why is that not a problem? Tell me. You have a problem with this KGB colonel Vladimir Putin. You know, he was head of the KGB, the new one for a while. Not long, like George Bush. But that's a problem, right? But it's not a problem that George Bush was for the CIA. No problem. No. Okay. You see how fucking stupid this sounds to us here in the outside, the rest of the world, outside your little bubble. You know how stupid this sounds to us. It is amazing. It's really amazing. So he's wrong on that as well. Now he goes on. He's now trying to attack Russia because Russia is not exceptional and, we're not a democratic society. No, you know what? If you're listening to me, yeah, you know what, idiot? Let me explain something to you. Russia is actually the Christian country these days. Yes, they follow the Orthodox Christianity, which is basically the first Catholic church. But still, they believe. Do you people believe? Huh? How many churches of you in the US is closed down every year? How many hundreds of thousands? Yeah, I've got the statistics in my book somewhere. What about the West? Tell me, UK, your little lapdog. Tell me, how many of your churches are now turned into mosques? Hmm? Hmm? Yeah, virtually every single one. Yeah. Why? Why? Well, can you show me the difference between the Church of England and the Catholic Church? Can you do that? No, you can't. It's the same. You even got all the same traditions. You brought it back. You are totally not what you were when you started off. You went back to the mother church. Yes, you're not Protestant anymore. You're not a Reformation church anymore. The US, you're not a Reformation country anymore. You're not a Protestant nation anymore. No, 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 you've become Catholic. Why is that a problem? Because the Bible talks about the dragon, yes, Satan, and this dragon will give its power to the first beast, the little horn, which the reformers, all the leaders from Martin Luther onwards, identified as what? As Catholics, as the Catholic system, not the Catholic individually, Catholic system. Who's the Antichrist? The Pope, the papacy, yeah. They identified you as that as well. And where do they get their power from again? What do I hear? Satan, yeah, Satan directly. Okay. And then this first beast actually came to a fall, yeah, in 1798. And what happened in 1798 also? France, the superpower, actually recognized the new US of A there across the pond. Interesting, eh? If you read Codename Masamole 26, or you read Oath of Evil, you will see how the Jesuit order actually created the US. Huh? Yeah, of course. And then what the US then was created to be what? The second beast of the Bible. Yeah, so that's where your arrogance comes from. It's on the influence of Satan. It's got nothing to do with Christianity. Even the Christianity you follow there is not Christianity. It's not. It's not even close. You don't follow the Bible. It's amazing. So anyway, Russia now became a biblical country in the sense of a Christian country, and you people became a second beast. It's quite funny. Anyway, then he started talking about the right of Israel to defend itself. Yeah, of course. Tell me, what about the rest of the world? Can Iran defend itself? No. Syria? No. Libya? No. Lebanon? No. Russia? Can Russia defend itself? No. You know how stupid you sound? Really? Really? So if Israel go out and it attacks a country somewhere, that country has no right to respond. Huh? Huh? Is that what you're telling me? It's beyond belief. And all of this comes down to this whole third temple theory, which Mike Pompeo and these people actually hold on to. He's just flipping amazing. But let's look at the let's look at this. Let's look and see how exceptional the US really is. Right. Tell me, Pompeo and Mate, you exceptional people. Tell me, who was first in space? Tell me who was first in space. I want to know. It was the Soviet Union. Gagarin, remember? Before that, Sputnik. Okay, so your Operation Paperclip, where you stole von Braun and those people, the Nazi scientists, to come and help you, and the Soviet Union did the same, of course. They didn't really help you that much, huh? Huh? Well, they Germans, you know, they're not exceptional. Mm, mm. Oh yeah, so you wasn't first in space. Okay, no, that's all I wanted to know. Okay, next question. Where was the first heart transplant done in the world? Chicago, Illinois. No, idiot. No, that was in South Africa at Groote Hospital in Cape Town. That was 1969. South Africa, yeah. Would you believe South Africa made the first heart transplant? Not you. Who's exceptional now? I want to know. Okay, tell me, who's got the biggest and largest helicopter in service in the world? That would be your Boeing Chinook, huh? No, idiot. No, not at all. No, that is the Russians. That's the Mi-26T, T2, and the later versions. That's the biggest helicopter in the world. So where's your exceptionalism now? Come, tell me. I want to know. So tell me, who ran away? Who ran away, military speaking, politically speaking? Who ran away from Vietnam? Somalia? Iraq? Twice? Syria? Yeah, well, you're back now. You got Al-Qaeda running there, but still, you ran. What about Afghanistan? What happened in Afghanistan when you ran away? Let me tell you what happened. I like speaking about this. Let me show you how exceptional you are. About 1/3 of the US Marines are what? What do I hear? Fatties, overweight. Yes, that's your own statistics. Don't argue with me. Read my books. I have all the statistics in there. What about your army? Now, how many of you are fatties? How many of you are overweight? At least half. The other day I saw a parade of you. It was at Trump's birthday. And I saw you slouching like little baboons. You were trying to march. Oh, shame. Wag's toch. And then I looked at the Russian military parades. Yeah. And I looked at the Chinese military parades. Yeah. And man, I saw some people who sharp at that. That is very good, very good. But of course, you'll say to me, yeah, well, you know, wars are not actually won on the parade ground. You know, we're fighting people. We don't do that anymore. So, What's your record? How many times did you win? Tell me. You ran away from all these countries I just mentioned to you. Let me tell you what happened in Afghanistan. So you decide you're going to run away there too. Yes. And so a bomb exploded. Yeah, a bomb exploded at the airport at Kabul. And about, I think, 14 Marines died. Rest in peace. Perhaps your parents will want to know what the hell you were doing there in the first place. But, you know. And then what happened? Well, they started shooting in panic. They went into panic mode. Yeah. How many were killed? 170, between 170 and about 200. Yeah. Were they killed by the bomb explosion? No. They were killed by you shooting like little frightened little boys there into a crowd. Exceptional, huh? Yeah, very. Then what happened the day after? 2 days later. Oh, you drone strike the guy who was delivering water or something. He actually worked for you. Yeah. Then what? No, we tried to lie about it. Yeah, no, you're flipping exceptional, mate. Really, you are. When you ran away from Vietnam, tell me, did you leave your files and everything there for the North Vietnamese to get hold of? Yeah, CIA, you left all your files there. Yes. What about your deciphering equipment, your encoding machines and things? Did you leave that there too? Yes, we left that too. Exceptional, huh? Very exceptional. So tell me, who breaks every international law in history and laughs it off at the UN with disdain? Who's that? That's you. It's the US of A. So tell me, your CIA, they're not really good, to be honest. But they are well funded and they do a lot of damage. Tell them, who destabilized more than 60 foreign countries? I ran as well, by the way, on behalf of the Brits. Yeah, who did that? Oh, you did. Oh, yeah, of course, very exceptional. Really. So tell me, when you meet a dictator somewhere, these guys was like horrible. Like, let's say Saddam Hussein, because you really hate Saddam Hussein, right? He's evil. He was a CIA source as well, but he's evil, right? Okay. So tell me, idiot, did you perhaps support him against Iran during the war with 8 years? Were you supporting him? Yes. Oh, interesting. What about Zaire, the Congo? Mobutu Sese Seko, one of the worst dictators you've ever seen in your life. Were you supporting him? Yes. Oh, fascinating. Okay, apartheid South Africa. Were you supporting apartheid South Africa? Where I come from. Well, sort of, yeah. In fact, you did. Yes, yes. Interesting, huh? So it seems to me that you don't mind that. You don't mind supporting dictators and all sorts of strange people as long as it benefits you, right? So does that make you exceptional? Tell me, are you standing for freedom and you're gonna go the straight road? No, you don't. Not at all. Not even flipping close. Yeah, not even close. So tell me, who invented the internet? You'll tell me no, it was the U.S. military or something, or DARPA or whatever. No, you're wrong. In fact, the internet was first discovered in the UK, not with you. Didn't know that. Tell me, why did Japan surrender in 1945? How come, Pompeo? You used to be a military cadet at West Point. Oh, shame. West Point. Yeah. Do you know that 1 out of every 3 US servicewomen will be raped? I wrote a book about that. It's called Voiceless War Crimes, USA. Note something here, please, guys. Note something. I didn't say they might be raped. No. I didn't say there's a chance. No, I said to you, they will be raped. In other words, yeah, that's your own statistics. Yeah, 1 out of 3, every US servicewoman will be grabbed by you at some stage and she will be abused and she will be killed if she's on a combat tour somewhere. How many of your female soldiers came back from Afghanistan and Iraq in coffins? And the coffins were not supposed to open. And there are many, many reasons to suspect they were abused physically, they were raped, and then they were murdered. Tell me, how many of you can keep your little pricks in your pants when you're out on operations? Or anywhere else, by the way. You're so exceptional, Tell me. Oh, flippin'. Virtually not one of you. Every single one of you. Most of you just can't keep your little thing in your pants. You have to go out, read my book, Voices, War Crimes USA. Go and rape children. Yeah, that's exceptional, huh? Fantastic. What do you know? What do you know? Tell me, who actually established the US extradition, extraordinary rendition program? I made a video on that. It's in my own book, codename Love 72. I speak 2.5 hours about it. Yeah, you should go and listen to that. No, it's you. It's you. And what did you do? Let me explain what you do. You go, you identify somebody as a terrorist. He's probably not a terrorist because your intel is so shit that you don't know what you're doing. No, you don't. Under Obama, guess what? 6.5%, 96.5% of your drone strikes were what? Hitting the wrong person. Huh? Is it me saying that, or is that the statistics? No, that's the statistics. Don't argue with me. No, I know what I'm talking about. No, go and read my books. Go and read my books and wake up to reality. Yeah, you're killing 96.5% the wrong people. Yeah, exceptional, huh? Pathetic, man. Pathetic. That's what you are. But you think you're exceptional. I wonder why. What's exceptional about you? I don't know. I've got 13 pages here to go on like this. What about the 500,000 children which one of your Secretary of Foreign Affairs, what do you call them? Secretary of State. What state? You're a second beast. You serve Satan directly. Yeah, that's what the Bible says about you. So what state do you have? But anyway, what did she say? Albright. What was her name? Albright. What did she say? She said, no, you have a sanction. If it kills 500,000 Iraqi children, yeah, that's worth it. That's worth it. No, fuck you. Oh, 500,000 dead children. Can you understand why these people hate you? Why they want to kill you? Do you understand that? Can I get through to you? Can I get you to understand that normal human beings don't flip and act like that? I was talking about the extradition program. Yeah, you go and grab people. Yeah? Then you take them to a different country like Thailand, where I live. Or you go to Syria, whatever. You go to all these countries. There's a list of 54 of them. Go and listen to that video. Or read that book, Love 72. And guess what? Then you torture them. Yeah, you've got them, now you're torturing them. Yeah, real torture. What methods do you use? Well, straight from the Inquisition. Really? Yeah. Did you not know? Waterboarding. Do you not know this comes from the Catholic Inquisition? That's where they first started using it. Do you know that? Huh? Idiot? Do you know that? No? Well, of course not. Okay, well, then you're so exceptional that for day after day, for months and years, you go and torture people. As I try to explain to you is that there is something called battlefield intelligence. Let me explain that to you. If you had a brush with a contact with the enemy, and now you got somebody there, and you want to follow this up, I can fully understand. I don't agree with you, but I fully understand where you can grab this guy and give him a few slaps and say, I better need to understand where your mate has gone to. And then you start tracking the spoor, which of course you can't do it. You don't even know how to do it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You'll follow it up. That is different from taking a guy day after day after day for months until he's dead. That takes a special kind of fucked upness and cruelty on your side. Something wrong with your mental head. There's something not right here. There's something wrong with you because normal people don't do such things. It's not exceptional. There's nothing exceptional about such behavior. Okay, but let's go back in history. Let me ask you a few questions because you people know nothing about history, by the way. Why not? Because let me explain something to you. In the first place, half of you can't read. Half of you will not be able to understand what I'm saying to you here. Why? Because that's your school system. Not me saying so. Your statistics are saying so. Half of you got the reading ability of a 14-year-old child, which explains how you can argue, because that's your level. You are that. And so you have 2% of you can actually follow me, and they can actually understand me, and they, of course, are the ones who's controlling you. And so they will not listen to me. Isn't that interesting? So let's talk about history. History used to be part of your curriculum if you get a degree at any university for a very long time. Because history is important. Why? Because history repeats. It always repeats. And so why? You go out being exceptional, and now you don't find history in any of your degrees anymore. So you don't know. You know shite. You don't know anything about other countries. Really, we see that every day. We listen to your presidents and famous people, your politicians. We listen to them with amazement at their lack of knowledge. We read your comments on their articles and the letters you write to me, mostly insulting. And it's like, this is a child speaking here. You know nothing. It's amazing. Do you know that in my world, in the shadows, we write history degrees a lot more than my legal degrees? Because everything we do in the COVID world is illegal. It doesn't matter, you know, what the law says, because we're going to break the law anyway. You do it too. It doesn't matter. Fact of the matter is, if I know the history, I can predict the future. Do you know that? Do you know that? So let me ask you something. Why did Japan surrender in 1945 to you? And to the Soviet Union, by the way. Why? Well, because we dropped the two atomic weapons at Nagasaki and where? Hiroshima. Yes, you did that. But in fact, that is not why they surrendered. Do you know what is August storm? There's a word operation, August storm, sometimes called August wind. Does that mean anything to you? No, probably not. No. Well, let me explain to you. After 1945, in May, when Nazi Germany surrendered in Western Europe, the Soviet Union decided they're going to take on Imperial Japan. So they moved about 2 million men out of the Western theater, or Eastern Front, as we would say, all the way to China, to Manchuria. And there they assembled these men. And they were waiting all the tanks, all the aircraft, all the things they needed to do the greatest blitzkrieg ever known in the history of warfare and mankind. Do you know about it? No, probably not. So let me explain. We did a double encircle movement in a place twice as big as Western Europe. That's why Japan surrendered. In fact, the Soviet army just stormed in there with the Air Force. They overran the Japanese army completely. Now you'll say to me, well, it was a weakened Japanese army. You know, we got them with our island. No, let's stop the chat right there. Most of the Japanese army was actually still in China. It's the same what happened in Western Europe. Most of the Nazi soldiers were fighting against the Russians, the Soviet Union. About 70%, 80% of the fighting was going there. You people got the leftovers. Yes. And let me assure you something as well. Go and read the books and do a bit of study. Let me assure you as well, you suffered almost no losses. You killed more civilians in Germany with your air raids than what you actually lost soldiers fighting with Germans. Do you know that? No, probably not. Do you know actually that the average German soldier will easily surrender to the American army or the Allied army, but he would not be eager to surrender to the Russians or the Soviet Union? Do you know that? No. Oh, okay. Do you know that after they surrendered to you, about 950,000 of the German soldiers died under your care? Why? What happened? Well, you see, Eisenhower decided that they don't have food to feed these people. So they have to feed these people because once you're a prisoner of war, a POW, according to the Geneva Convention, as well as the Hague Convention, go and read codename Alphabet 32. If you don't believe me, you will feed these people the same as your own soldiers. So if I eat bully beef and have a beer every day, then I'm supposed to give bully beef and a beer every day to a prisoner of war as well. That is logical, isn't it, guys? That's the way it bloody well should be, right? But you decided you're not going to feed these men and women. So what did you do? Well, you changed the name. You decided they're not going to be prisoners of war. You changed the name to something else, and therefore you had no obligation to feed them. But you still kept them prisoner in open camps. And there, apparently, according to some people who wrote books about it, 950,000 of them died. How do they know that? Because the record showed other deaths. Yeah, other deaths. And then, of course, you came up and you said, no, that's not true. It wasn't that much. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is you being so flippant exceptional, you refused to feed these people because you refused to call them prisoners of war. That's how you tried to get away from your responsibility. But don't worry, you were not alone. Your little Chihuahua, you know that place, UK, United Kingdom, what do you call them? Yeah, Britain. Nothing great about them anymore, but yeah, they did the same. They called their program displaced persons or something like that. DEP, whatever, can't even remember, doesn't matter. Very exceptional, I can tell you. No, they followed you exceptional ones. And many of them died as well. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? You just learned something about history now. So anyway, Japan surrendered because of the Soviets coming in, not because of you. So tell me, you like to speak about your president, doesn't matter which one is sitting there, all John McCain's. Doesn't matter because you don't even have a two-party system, you have a one-party. Don't you know? Please tell me. I want to know. Educate me. I'm just a colonial guy. I'm from South Africa. Yeah. I'm from the third world, according to you. But we'll see about that. But tell me, please. I want to know. What's the difference between the demo rats and reptiles? The Republic Party. Tell me, what's the difference? I see no flipping difference. No, I see nothing. I see a country under control of Satan. I see the second beast. There's no difference. No. But you like to tell me, you like to say to me that, the most powerful man in the world is in the White House. That's the president. POTUS. Okay, that's interesting because, you've got a shitty little army. How many of you are there? 485,000, I believe. How many is in Ukraine? 900,000. Combat experience? Yeah. What about Russia? 1.4 million. Combat experience? Yes, best army in the world right now. Most experience. What about China? China's got a bigger economy than you. China, it can build 280 ships for everyone you can build. That country will actually build a Royal Navy every 2 years. The one who ran out of names for its ships because there's too many of them. The Navy, it's bigger than yours. You know that? It's new as well. Perhaps you should read Codename Lucy. You will learn something here, something you don't know. Then you're going to talk to me about carrier groups. You have strike groups. You don't have battle groups anymore. You know why not? You don't have the ships and you don't have the people. If one of your carriers sink, there's not enough ships surrounding it, even if it's still afloat, to actually rescue those in the water. You know that? Exceptional planning, eh? Yeah, exceptional, I'm sure. But still, you have the greatest, most powerful man in the world. Well, tell me, idiot, I want to know something. Who has the most nuclear weapons? Right, pointing at you. With hypersonic missiles, which you can't stop. We saw your Patriot fail. Did I not warn you in my books? Did the Israelis not come out after the Iraqi war? The first one, did they not write a report which came out later? Very top secret, where they said the Patriot didn't work. Against the Scots. Didn't they say that? Yeah, they did. No, idiot. Don't argue with me. I know my facts. Yeah, they said that it might have intercepted one. Might have. In fact, it didn't intercept anything. But then you decided you're going to attack Iran. Just recently, a month ago, 6 weeks ago. And you saw your asses. No, they fucked you up. Yeah, no, it's not. Don't lie. As much as I like you and love you and feel close to you in my heart, you lost. You had to beg. And so did the US. Attack once and please don't attack us again. Don't attack us. Didn't you do that again? What happened? Yeah, I think also Iran, wasn't it? You decided you're gonna attack them or something, and then you gave them permission to attack you, the same as you did now. Yeah, top guys, huh? Top guys. Tell you what, I'm gonna slap you once, and then you can go and slap that guy. Yeah. But please, don't fight with me. Don't box with me. I don't want to box. Really? Best military in the world, huh? Best military in the world. You don't even have hypersonic weapons, you idiots. Huh? You have flyer F-35, which can't even fly in thunderstorms. You didn't even add a gun on it. Why not? Well, we don't need a cannon because we got missiles. Okay, idiot, tell me. What's the percentage of your missile failures? Read Codename Blue Tank. Huh? In Vietnam, what happened? 92 out of 100 said. Yeah, that's right. 92 out of 100 failed. Yeah, 92 out of 100. What did you have to do in Vietnam? Oh, we had to put a 20mm gun on our Phantoms. Oh. Okay, idiot. Now tell me what happened with your F-35, that piece of shite which isn't even stealthy. Tell me. Oh, no, we forgot the gun as well. History repeating. Idiot. Do you now see why you need to study history? Huh? You're getting the point. Oh, so what did you do then? No, we put a 25mm Gatling on it. Oh, and then what happened? No, it came out, this thing shoots askew. It doesn't shoot where we aim at. Oh, idiot. I feel sorry for you. I feel so sorry for you, It's actually funny. But anyway, by the way, the most powerful man in the world is Vladimir Putin. You know why? Because he's got more nuclear hits than you. And he's all pointing right at you. Uh, so where's your swagger now? You're not the most powerful. No, never. So tell me, who intercepts and reads its own citizens' emails totally illegally, more than any other country in the world? No, that would be you. Hmm. How many do you intercept? Well, I have all statistics. In 2017, you were intercepting 550 million emails and intercepts in 1 year in the US alone. Yeah? Are you supposed to spy on your own people? Huh? Without a court order? Even if you get a court order like nothing, you just go to these judges and you say, oh, we have reason to believe it. And then this judge says, oh, please, of course, I understand, my boy. And then he just signs. I cannot tell you as a former attorney how disgusting I find that. Because you should go to the judges and fight for that order. You should go in and tell this judge and say, my lord, this is the evidence. This is why we need you. And he should say to you, fuck off and get me better evidence. And then you come back and you say, my lord, I effed off and now I have better evidence. See, my lord, here we go. You do that 5 or 6 times, you're in a normal country. That's how it works in other countries, guys. Not with you. Not with you. And the UK, your little chihuahua, oh, well, there's a two-tier legal system. Totally. And it's, yeah, I'll rather act against my own people than anybody else. No, these people can come here illegally. They can rape our children. They can cut their throats. That's fine. You don't say anything bad about that. Huh? I'll lock you up. I'll lock you up. That's strange behavior, don't you think? Very strange. Same is happening in Germany now. But did the Bible not say that the entire world will wander after the beast? Did he not say that? Did the Bible not say that these people will become like you? Huh? But now they are. How interesting. How fascinating is that? So anyway, if in 2017 you were intercepting 550 million times your own citizens' emails, then I think we can make it for today. Let's make it a billion times. Yeah. Your flippant problem in life is you can't actually read all these things. So you know what you do? Go and read Coding OSTM. I explain to you how the system works. You go and now you run these scans. You have like crawlers. So it's just like a search engine. And you go and search, kill the president. And you put certain names in, probably my name as well, George M. James, or my real name, or what my other names. You put it in there, and then you see who's linked to me. And then you start your investigation. And that is how you get to the truth. No, you're an idiot. You don't get to it like that. You're just intercepting, you're harvesting. You're harvesting information. Then you keep it somewhere. And then you fail, like you always flip and fail. And then what happens? Well, then you go to Congress and say, Senator, yeah, we failed because we weren't funded enough. And so Senator is an idiot and he wants a kickback. And so he says, okay, my son, let me give you more money. And then we give more money. And then you come to people like me and you say, we have a $1 trillion budget for our military. We are the best. Oh, for fuck's sakes, what do you get for that money, idiot? What do you get for that money? Show me where your weapons are so great. Because I see them being shot down in Ukraine and everywhere else. Everywhere. And I've warned you in many, many books, you don't have stealth fighters. It can be picked up by phase array radars at a range of 400 kilometers. That's 200 miles. Idiot. But carry on. You're so clever. You're so clever. So tell me, who leads the world in landmine-proof technology? Who? Tell me. I want to know. Well, actually, until about 2004, after you invaded Iraq on a what? On a false intelligence. Yeah. Where's your weapons of mass destruction? No, it's not there. Okay, it's actually sad that I don't have that much time to spend with this, because I can go on like this for days. What I want. But to answer my own question, it wasn't you, idiot. No. By 1975, South Africa, my country, actually had landmine-proof vehicles. You know that? And that you had to copy them. Yes, we had to copy them. So since we're on the subject, tell me, who's got the best anti-tank missile in the world? Would that be the Hellfire? No, idiot. That's a Mokopa. You know what's a Mokopa? It's also known as a ZT6. That's a South African missile. Do you know it outperforms your Hellfire in every single possible way? Not me saying so. Who says so? Change the Fence Weekly. Go and read Codename Alphabet 52. Or read my other books. You'll be surprised what you actually flip and find out. What else? What about the best short range and medium air-to-air missile in the world? Where's that? Your Sidewinders, your Sparrows, those things? Huh? No, idiot. No, way very bad. Go and read Codename Blue Tank. Guess what you're going to find out? You never had air superiority in the 80s in Europe, in Western Europe. No, you didn't. No. Why do we know that? Because after East Germany fell and it became part of West Germany, and you made this fake promise of not an inch east, you will not increase NATO. Well, then you did. Of course, that caused the war in Ukraine, which you are now losing so badly. Yeah, pathetic. Certainly, there's more than 1 million Ukrainians dead. Yeah, but 150,000 Russians as well. Yeah, sad, eh? But if you are actually serving Satan, and we say that these people are probably Orthodox Christians, can you hear Satan laughing, huh, guys? Am I ridiculous to say that? Can you hear Satan laughing? If it's true, if the Bible is true, and you're the second beast, can you hear? Yeah, I can hear him laughing. Yeah, enjoying that. Yeah. Now it started making sense, huh? Started making sense. Anyway, if you read Codename Blue Tank or listen to my video on it, you're going to find out that after these air forces combined, the German one, they had to find out that the Soviet air-to-air missiles are 8 times better than anything you could produce. Not 8%, 8 times better. Yes. So much better that you can't even compete. In fact, the Europeans plucked them more. They got so angry with this that they started doing something about it. They still had some manhood in those days. And they created what they called the IRIS-T. The IRIS-T is much better than anything you can produce. But anyway, the South Africans got hold of IRIS-T and they got hold of Soviet missiles. And then they decided, we can build our own, which is not copies, not Chinese, but even the Chinese are so far advanced in weapons. Why? Because they're so far advanced in AI above you that you cannot compete. Read my books once again. And guess what? The South Africans came up with something called the NEL V3E Agile Darter. Now this is an old missile by now. There's much better ones out already. And that is actually the best air-to-air missile in the world today. Did you know that? No, probably not. So tell me, who has this great national debt? Huh? Who's got $55 trillion in debt? Yeah, that's a lot, isn't it? And I don't see you stop spending money. You're just carrying on. Yeah, that's you. Very exceptional, huh? Very exceptional. I already mentioned to you, I'm sure, that on the Obama, whenever you drone strike somebody, and we write about your drones and everything in the books, go and read it. You missed 96.5% of the time. So in other words, there's a car going. Now you drone this car. You don't have people on the ground to actually check the DNA or see who's there or who's not. And now you're like happy. Oh, look at this, we killed these people. Yeah, idiot, but you killed the wrong people. Yeah, idiot. No, you killed the wrong people. So tell me, idiot, I want to know. If there's a Russian drone And it comes and it kills your mommy, or your daddy, or your sissy, or your wifey, or whatever. Your dog. Will you be angry? Will you be pissed off beyond belief? Will you go and pick up that M4 of yours there in the basement and, yeah, I'm going to kill the Russians now? Well, you bloody well should be. If you're a man, you should be angry about this. I mean, really. But, yeah. So congratulations, idiot. You just created more terrorism. So somewhere down the line, one of your comrades, one of your fellow Americans are going to get killed. Or somebody was innocent, but perhaps looked like you walked down the street and now he's killed. Why? Yeah, because, we droned the wrong people. Mm, mm. And you even get a medal for it, huh? Huh? There was this one ship, what was it called? Guided missile cruiser, what's it called? USS Vincinitus, something of that. I cannot even say the name. But in English is a third language to me. I wonder how many languages do you people speak? I wonder. But anyway, to make a long story short, so this ship, this US Navy ship, it actually downed Iranian, I think, an Airbus or Boeing was just flying straight, 30,000 feet, not coming in low and fast, just flying. So it launches it missiles and it shuts it down. I think 200 and something people died that day. Why did they do that? Oh no, they thought it was an F-14. Oh, okay. Oh, fucking exceptional, ain't it? Why F-14? Because the Iranian Air Force has F-14s. Yeah, in fact, the fighter ace with the most kills in an F-14 Tomcat is what? Who? Iranian. Yeah, not you. You know that the F-14 Tomcat is actually a shite aircraft. Huh? You know that? Read Blue Tank. You might find something out. Anyway, so make a long story short, what did you do with the captain of the ship who actually downed his airliner by mistake? Well, I can tell you, in any other navy, any other country, he would have been court-martialed. Yeah, would have gone to jail for murder. But what did you do? Come, idiot, tell me. Oh, we gave him a medal, sir. Yeah, you gave him a medal. Oh, so now I'm the captain of the ship, and now I know this guy downed the airliner, he got a medal. Honorable discharge, no problem, went on pension, probably still alive. So what am I going to say? So, okay, guys, you know what? If there's any aircraft close to us, just down it, shoot it down. Why? Because I'm going to get away with it. Exceptional, eh? Open exceptional. So tell me, who murders two innocent civilians for every terrorist claimed and then lies about it? That's you. It's the US of A, the exceptional ones. Who has the worst record in counterterrorism in the history of warfare? No, that's you. You're pathetic. Who lied about the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq? No, you did. How many died? More than 1 million. Do you understand that this is not just figures, guys? This is somebody like you. Somebody who got up in the morning, he's going to go to work, whatever, and now he's killed. How would you feel if that happens to you? Did you think about that? And then wonder again, why do these people hate you so much? Yeah, but I don't hate you. Let me tell you something. Let me say this. I say in this many books. If I want to kill somebody, I would never warn you. I would be like, these guys would try to assassinate the president, which I think is bullshit and nonsense. It should never happen. Read Codename Wrangler, because the president isn't worth assassinating, in my eyes. But anyway, so if I want to hurt somebody or injure somebody or kill somebody, I'll never warn you. No, I'll just attack you. I'll make an end. So if I'm sitting here and I'm warning you about these things, even if I'm sarcastic, just remember that. Remember, I'm not your enemy. Really not. I'm trying to wake you up. I'm trying to get you to understand how stupid you sound, how silly you sound, and you're on the wrong way. You're on the pathway to hell. You better stop this. You're going to lose the next war. You're going to get seriously slapped around. You're not as great as you think you are, and you're definitely not exceptional. Become humble. I've seen many operators in my life. And if you go to my show, Legacy Conversations, it's here right next to me, this one. There I speak to a lot of South African Special Forces people, who's really people you want to listen to. And some of them said straightforward, they said, no, we saw your Navy SEALs. Yeah, we're not better than your old parachute battalion. Yeah, no, they said that. Really, they did. And I agree with them, because what I've seen of you in Africa is pathetic. What I've seen to you in the rest of the world is pathetic. It's low standards. It's low standards. But there's one thing about these people, go and watch it. They're very humble people. Very humble. None of them is like you. None of them. None of them has these tattoos to say, no, look, I'm a ranger or I'm a this or that. Hey, you fucking idiot. What do you think is going to happen if you ever captured? Huh? Huh? You think they're going to not strip you naked? Yeah, to rape you, of course, but they're still going to notice, oh, what's this ranger tab here? What's this? US Navy SEALs. What about that? So they're going to treat you differently once they see that. Of course they are. Yeah, but yeah, whatever. Mm, mm. So tell me, how much money do you waste? Tell me the books of your Pentagon. And there's a reason why that place is in the form of a Pentagon. You know that? It's got to do with Satan. But anyway, veto of evil. You'll find out that all your symbols, including your flag, has to do with what? The occult. Yeah. What is the occult? Oh, that is Satan worshipping. Yeah. That's where that comes from. Do I have evidence? Of course I have a damn evidence. Otherwise I wouldn't say this to you. Yeah, go and read. You will find out. You'll be surprised that you find out. Anyway, tell me what bookkeeping. When last could you given in an audit? At the Pentagon, your most trusted organization in the US Army. When last did they do an audit? Hmm? Hmm? No, never. Cannot balance your books. Why not? We don't know where the money is going. Oh, so it might be stolen, it might be wasted. Yes. Well, probably. Yeah, there you go. You can't even keep books. You've lost control. Can't you get this? You lost control. You're not exceptional. It's flippin' unexceptional. This should not happen in a country like that. We were speaking about languages just now. Most Europeans speak 2 languages. Most Africans speak 2 languages or even more. So tell me, how many languages do you speak? And don't say to me, hola, I think you speak Spanish. No, you don't. I'm talking about speaking like I'm speaking to you now, very fluently. How many of you can do that? How many of your presidents can actually speak more than one language? No, 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 no. No, virtually no one. Virtually no one. Okay, tell me. Let's go back to Colonel Putin, who you hate so much. How many languages does he speak fluently? Well, see now, he speaks Russian. He speaks German. And he speaks English. That's what we know about. Some say there's more. Mm, mm. What about the Russian foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov? What's his name? How many languages does he speak? Huh? Six. Six. Speaks 6 languages. Oh. These people are few, hilarious. How many does he speak? One. Uh, hmm. Okay, Pompeo. One. Uh, uh. Okay, what about this Blinken? One. Okay, what's this new fellow called? Rubio, little Rubio. What's he called? One. Well, perhaps he speaks Spanish as well. I don't know. Fact of the matter is, most of you don't even speak languages. Mm, mm. Yeah. How many of you actually travel outside of the US? Now, that I don't mean on a cruise ship to the Caribbean. How many of you travel overseas and actually meet other cultures? No, almost all. No, we don't. How many of you people, when your soldiers actually died in Niger, those Green Berets who got killed there, may they rest in peace. I write about them too. Codename Vet 101. I put an entire addendum on there. Go and read it. You'll wake up to some things. How many of your senators could tell us where is this place? Where's Niger? It's in North Africa, right? Right now, idiot. It's in West Africa. Wake up. Wake up. You don't know these things. But you're so exceptional. Oh, shame. You're so exceptional. Okay, guys, you know what? Really, I'm only at page 5 out of 13. And already an hour is gone out. So I'm gonna just mention a few things here quickly and then we get on. In the first place, you exceptional people have something called an associate degree. Do you know in the rest of the world there's no such thing? Because we don't rate it highly enough. There is no such thing. We don't recognize such a degree. Tell me, which country, that is you, by the way, exceptionals. That's you. Who has more people in jail per capita than any other country in the world? Huh? But most of them are black. Who would that be? Yeah, that's you. That's you. United States of America. Do you know that you don't even go to court for like trials, like Petrocelli or whatever? No, that happens very seldom. Why? Because you make plea deals. In other words, the police arrest somebody, they can even kill them, get away with it. I write about that in several books as well. But you know what? If I don't kill them, then the guy thinks to himself, well, you know what, it's better for me to take 5 years than perhaps 50, or even the death sentence. Yeah. Who gases more people to death than any other country in the world? Let me think now. No, that's you. Who gives these fatal injections and shootings and all that? That's you. Yeah, really. Tell me, where's the most chemical trails in the world? Where do we see that? These chemicals they spray to make you stupid. Tell me. That's a US of A, it's exceptional. School shootings. Where does that take place the most in the world? US. Tell me. Want to know something. What can the FBI do with the South African apartheid police where I come from? Or the KGB, Mr. Putin's people? Or the North Korean Secret Service, Secret Police? What can the FBI do what these other units cannot do? Well, let me explain to you. It's the only law enforcement agency in the world who can actually arrest people for lying to them, even if these people don't even know they're lying to them, because you might make a mistake. You might think it's the truth and it's not the truth, book, they arrest you. These are the same ones who's behind most of the attacks on you. I think I did mention that. Do you know that when they interrogated this hilarious on Clinton on an email scandal? Do you know that by chance? No, fucking by chance. No, this was on purpose. This is part of a cover-up. They made sure that she's not under oath when they spoke to her. So they couldn't keep that against her. And do you know that hundreds of times, dozens of times actually, she said, I don't know, I don't recall, I don't know, I plead the fifth. Explain to me, how did the Clintons go from fairly poor people when they left the White House, according to themselves, they were broke, to exceedingly multi-millionaires now, worth about what, $500 million? Huh? Do you know what is a lifestyle audit? Does that mean anything to you, Mr. FBI? Idiot? Does that mean anything? Or are you so exceptional that you won't do it with your political masters? Yeah. You won't do it with your political masters. Why not? Because you're not a democracy. Of course, you'll tell me you're not because you have this fancy name for what you are. That's bullshit too. All that you are is same as Saudi Arabia. You don't believe me? Okay, I'll put the slide in for you. Wasn't me saying so. It's your own universities who are saying so. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? So tell me, why do you support Israel always? Even if they're committing war crimes, why are you always on their side? Do they control you? Do they actually control you? Because everybody else say they're controlling you. Huh? Because why? Why? What is it? You say to me you have your best ally in the Middle East. Okay, well they might be. But is there any treaty obligations? No, there's nothing. No. So what's happening here? Why is it like this? Why? Are they testing weapons for you? Well, yes, of course, that's what you will tell me. But listen to me, idiot. Do you know that when South Vietnam fell, that the Soviet Air Force then got hold of about 48 brand new F-5E Tiger II fighter aircraft? And do you know that they flew these things in mock combat against themselves, the same as your aggressor schools, Top Gun and Red Flag? Yeah, you're not the only ones in the world who have that. No, 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 not at all. Read Codename Jane and you'll find out you falsified your scores. Yeah, mm, yeah, you're not as great as you think you are, but anyway, you're exceptional, I'm sure. Mm. And do you know that this F5 can actually dogfight the F-16 and it will probably win? Mm. No, you didn't know that. Of course, it doesn't matter. So tell me, did the Soviets actually learn from this? Did they know what patterns to fly, what angles and what flight envelopes to defeat you? Yes, they knew. But why did the Israelis then score so much? Well, the Soviets never told the Arab clients what to fly and how to fly. They never did. Why not? Because, idiot, they were holding it back because they knew they had better missiles, they knew their airframes were as good as yours, and they knew how to defeat you. Red coat and blue tank. Do you think you have air superiority now? No, you don't. No, you don't. No, there's nothing exceptional about you. But you know what? I have a theory about these things. And everybody is saying that Israel is controlling the US Congress, and it is, according to for their situation, definitely. You just think of Kathy and you think of APAC and you think of these people standing there and just applauding and giving money and giving support and running interference, even if it's costing you very, very dearly on the world. Because Israel at the moment is a skunk of the world. It's what apartheid South Africa used to be, and it saddens me to say this. Why? Because I have Jewish blood, man. My grandmother was a Jewish woman who escaped from Nazi Germany. My wife, Rebecca, just think of that name. Hello? Mm-hmm. She lost all her family in the camps. And if you read any of my books, you will find out there's a lot of combined operations with Mossad, many of which took place. And we're very respectful, good friends of mine. And you know what else? If you read my book, When Does It End and Where Does It End? And perhaps I'll write, Why Does It End? You will learn about the Jewish army rescuing people, their own people in occupied France during the Second World War, working with British intelligence. Hmm. But you don't know about that either, right? No, no, of course not. You're so flippin' exceptional, you know nothing. Nothing. And if you feel insulted by me, well, I don't care. This is the view from outside. This is bursting your bubble for you in the hope that you will wake up. But you know what is my theory? Well, there was a guy in the 1870s. He actually wrote a book called Morals and Dogma. Albert Pike. He spoke 16 languages. Do you know that? He was actually a Confederate brigadier general. Do you know that? He was fucking useless, but what he was. Mm, mm. But he's also known, and he's best known to be probably the greatest occult writer there was. And he wrote this book, Morals and Dogma, and in that you find the truth about Satan worshipping. Very much the truth. What you read in that book is for them like the Bible. And what did this Albert Pike say? And by the way, with these riots against Trump in 2020, they burned his statue down. Now, I don't think those hooligans actually knew what it was. They just grabbed it and burned it down, and it was never resurrected. Very interesting, because there's a lot of things happening in the occult world. Now, again, now I'm speaking to you above the level of strategic. I'm talking good and evil, which is above that. Remember, you get tactical, you get strategic, and then you get good and evil, right? So what did he say? What did this Albert Pike say in letters as well in this book of his? He said, well, there's going to be 3 world wars. The first one will be to break the British Empire. Why? Because the British Empire at that stage was not a little chihuahua. No, it was a very strong Protestant type of organization. Yes, against the Catholic system, against sun worship. Even though they went astray, even though they go to church on a Sunday, which is the mark of a beast, I don't want to go into that. Read Oath of Evil, listen to my other places where I speak. Point is, they were the enemy of Satan at that stage. They're not anymore. They were part of Satan, but that doesn't matter. So they needed to break them. And they needed to break why? Germany. Why? Why? Because Germany is where the Reformation seriously started with Martin Luther. Again, now you're looking at from the viewpoint of Satan and the viewpoint of our Father Lord, of God. Now it starts making sense, doesn't it? And so what happened? Germany was wiped out, basically. Yeah, what happened? It lost a lot of its territory. Suddenly Poland came into being. Besides that, there was a naval blockade. You know that? Yes, of course you know. No, probably not, idiot. But there was a naval blockade after 1918. Huh? After the war ended. How many Germans died because of starvation? Huh? What do I hear? About 600,000. Yeah. Some say a million. But again, it doesn't matter, it's just humans. No, they're not exceptional. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Can you hear Satan talking in you? Yeah, you should. So anyway, Germany got virtually destroyed, and Britain was ruined. The empire still existed, but not for long. Okay, then came the Second World War. What was the aim? This is according to Albert Pike now. It's not me speaking. What did he say? He said, no, well, the idea with this war is what do we want to do? We want to break the rest of the world, and we might want to make the US, the second beast, to be the most powerful. We want the US to become the country. We want to make it so powerful that it can inflict the will of the first beast, which is from Satan, onto the rest of the world. So what happened? Tell me, idiot. What happened? When did you join the war? Let's think about it. When did World War II start? Let me first ask you that. Well, for China, it started about in 1957. With Imperial Japan. For us in the rest of the world, 1939 September. Yes, the invasion of Poland. But for you people, you're in an exceptional country. You didn't want to go to the war, and I admire you for that. And so it started for you with 1941, I believe, wasn't it? Pearl Harbor. But do you know, idiot, and you should really read my books, that the US Navy was actually engaging the German U-boats up to 1 year before Pearl Harbor. Admiral King and those people, do you know about it? Well, perhaps you should read my book, and you'll find out. Yeah, you were actually engaging them. You know what you were doing? Let me explain it to you quickly. You would find a U-boat. Then you would track it down with your sonar or ASDIC, as it was called those days. Then you broadcast on a radio to any British Royal Navy ship close by. We've got a submarine. Come and kill him. And then the Brits would arrive with a bomber or with another vessel, and they take over and they hunt this submarine and they destroy it. Now tell me, idiot, is that neutral? Is that against the Neutrality Act, perhaps? Huh? Yeah, of course it is. So what did the German U-boats do? They started sinking you. Yeah. Go and research USS Greer. There's others as well. Did this happen before Pearl Harbor? Yes, before Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor, were you warned about Pearl Harbor exceptional ones? Dasko Popov. Tricycle, that was his code name, Tricycle. Did he warn you? Yes, he warned you. Why? Because there was a British raid, I think, on Toronto, where they used aircraft carriers to sink the Italian fleet. You know about that? No, of course not. Anyway, idiot. So he found out, being a triple spy, that the Japanese actually wanted to know what happened there. And there's only one reason why the Japanese wanted to know such things. And so he warned the Brits. And the Brits knew that, of course, their cousins across the pond has to come and save their asses because they ran away at Dunkirk. Yeah, Churchill. Yeah, I can say so much about Churchill, but I'm not going to waste your time with this. And so they sent Dasko Popov. They got him out of the field and they sent him over to go and speak to you people. Yeah, to explain to you guys, this is what's happening. We're going to attack Pearl Harbor. It's going to happen. So what did the FBI do? That closet guy, what's his name? Hoover. Him. And that this other guy, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, that fellow, the 53 Freemason, 33-degree Freemason. Yeah, him, Satan worshipper. Same as Winston Churchill, by the way. So tell me, what did they do? They don't want to listen. They wanted to be attacked. What about the Roosevelt's eight-point plan to be attacked by Imperial Japan? Do you know about it? No, idiot. Of course you don't. But go and read my books, you'll find out. What about the sanctions on oil and scrap iron against Japan, which started the war? You know about that? No, of course not. Yeah, idiot. You really think Japan just decided one day, no, we're going to fuck up for you, the US. No, we're going to just attack you. Yeah. Just one night, they woke up and they said, no, we're going to do that. You're very stupid. Okay. So tell me, exceptional one. Do you think that Russia in 2022 decided just overnight they're just going to attack Ukraine? Yeah, just because they felt like it. No, idiot. No. 2014. What happened? Oh, there was elected government in Ukraine. Democratically elected, yes. Then what happened? Oh, John McCain and other people arrived. Oh. Then what happened? No, they staged a coup d'etat. Oh, really? And the US ambassador, you know that? She was there amongst the crowd doing the coup d'etat, murdering people. And what did she do? She gave out cookies and money and things and said, carry on. This is what we want. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. And then the Donbass and those people decided we don't want to be part of this because this ain't a legal government. And they said, no, in that case we go our own way. And what happened? Ukraine started attacking them, killing them for many years. Thousands dead. Thousands of children, women. You don't care about that, do you? You don't care about such things. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, interesting. So what happened? This is very fascinating actually because history is repeating. So the US Navy was acting on behalf of Little Chihuahua, the British Empire. They were attacking the German vessels. And then what happened a few years later, about 50, 60 years later? Oh, the Red Sea. US Navy decided to act on behalf of Israel. And they're going to take on the Houthis. And what happened? How many aircraft did you lose? I know about three F-18 Super Hornets. Yeah, that's what you lose. That's what you lost. Almost lost an aircraft carrier. What about all your drones? I think about 10 or 12 were shot down. And then you declared victory and you pissed off for home. And you really think the rest of us didn't know you lost? Really? You think that? You think that? You're that exceptional. You think we're that stupid? I'm just asking. By the way, Popov was then arrested for taking a young woman. She wasn't a child. Was I think 19 or 20 years old. Taking her across the state line. You've got an act called the Mann Act or something. And then they had sex in some hotel because this was a rich guy, millionaire, playboy type. It's not that she didn't want to do it, wasn't rape in any sense, but then he got arrested for that. And he thrown basically out of the country. And when he heard about Pearl Harbor, he was quite excited. And he said to himself, well, this is fantastic because he's sure that the Japanese Navy sailed into an ambush. And then came out the truth. How many of you died there? What, 3,000? I'm not sure. Rest in peace. Why? Why did they die? Because you serve Satan. Yeah, that's why. It's sad, isn't it? Very sad. Did you know that you even knew about 9/11 before it happened? But exceptionally, you did nothing. You know, it is a funny thing because this Albert Pikeman went on and he predicted the Third World War. Third one. Where will it happen? Middle East. Yeah. Fascinating. There's only one country in the Middle East who's going to start a Third World War if it happens. Called Israel. Why? Because they're as arrogant as you. They attack everybody. They think they'll get away with it. Because they got Big Daddy for you to cover for them. And I've been warning them. I've been saying to them, guys, you're getting into bed now with a country which runs away at every war it's ever fought. They just run away. So, will they run away again? Yeah, probably. We're going to leave you in the lurch. What's going to happen then? My Jewish friends? What's going to happen? Going to get overrun. What you going to do then? Samson option. Use your nukes. What will then happen? Well, Pakistan already said you nuke Iran or any place we nuke you. What will then happen? You see where this is going? You see where this is going, but you know what's even worse about it? Do you know that before you invaded Iraq in 2003 on false information, false intelligence, which the French actually warned you about, French intelligence, by the way. Yeah, guess what? There were about 20% of Christians in the Middle East were still there, meaning 20% of their populations were Christian. That's where it started after all, you know. And how many of them are left today? Tell me, I want to know. Less than 1%. Okay, so tell me, idiot, where are those Christians? And don't tell me they fled to the US because Obama only let Muslims in. Biden only let Catholics in. Do you know that? No, I've got the facts, guys. Don't argue with me. I know what I'm talking about. It's in my book. Go and read. Wake up. Where are those Christians? What happened to them? Why is 1% left of them? Where's the other 99%? Where are they? They did. They did. They've been murdered. They've been murdered as we speak today in Syria, other places. Yes, and not even just murdered, tortured to death, killed, raped, beaten. Amazing. That is what you caused. That's what you're causing. You're so flippin' exceptional, huh? Of course, if we look at this from a viewpoint of Satan, yeah, then you are flippin' exceptional. There's no doubt about it. You're flippin' exceptional. You are very, very exceptional. Totally exceptional. But you know what, guys? As I said, I'm on page 7. I give up. I'm going to stop the video here. I think we made the point. And the point here is this exceptionalism of yours, this haughty arrogance of yours, this pride, it's sinful, right? It's not normal. There's nothing wrong with being proud. There's nothing wrong to say, you know what, I've done well. I deserve a pat on the back. I think I'm okay. Thank you. But you know what we do in the rest of the world? Most of us. We go on our knees. We say, Lord, I thank you. Thank you for your blessings. I thank you for what you've done for me. Lord, I will try to live according to your will and your will alone. I will follow the 10 commandments, and I want people to see this in my life. Yes. I don't see it in your life. What I see is the second beast. And guys, I'm not alone. I'm not alone when I see these things. That is the viewpoint of most of the world. So if you found any type of benefit from listening to me here, I thank you. Please spread the word, read the books, educate yourself, change your ways, and become what you used to be when we all looked up to you. When you used to be the leader of a free world and the beacon of hope, and not the damn second beast of the Bible. Until we meet again, God bless.